5, 4,
Three,
3.
two, 1. You're too slow.
Good morning, guys.
He's too slow, guys. Tell him. Tell him he's too slow.
Tell him, tell him.
Too slow.
It is Thursday night for us, Friday morning for y'all. You said y'all? We're Texans now.
Great minds think alike.
I feel like you're pushing me. Or I'll do the whole video like this. Okay?
Stop it.
No, you don't want me there.
Babe, stop. You've been very, weird. I hit you earlier. I went like this and you're like, ooh.
Because I could have fell out of the car and cracked my head open.
You're like, I almost died. And I barely went like this. And he's like, oh my God, I almost died.
It could happen. What if I fell?
Like, seriously, babe? Like, my little hand is gonna,
No, but it just could throw me off balance.
Guys, he's like the biggest drama queen.
Oh my gosh. I'm clapping for no reason. Today I was able to, hopefully you got a chance to watch it, but if you didn't, I interviewed Gil Carrillo.
Gil Carrillo.
Retired homicide detective that arrested in the 80s Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, one of the most notorious serial killers ever. And I got to talk to this guy. That was so cool.
I'm so mad at him. It's all because of him that I was made to stay inside the house for a really long time.
Gil?
No.
Oh.
Richard Ramirez.
Yeah,
because he was in my area.
Well, this is what was weird about him.
Ugh.
They couldn't figure out because
he would go in through windows and everything.
Well, he would molest children and he would murder adults.
Yeah.
So they thought they were looking for
old ladies.
Two different people. Yeah, adults.
Yeah.
So nothing he did was like a pattern.
Yeah. He didn't have a specific pattern.
Different weapons.
Yeah.
Different things he would do. If you haven't seen Gil, they did a documentary on the story. It's called The Night Stalker on Netflix. It's really, really good, well put together documentary. And you can see Gil on it. And I remember seeing that and I was like, man, I got to get a hold of this guy.
He was very demonic, guys. Very, very demonic looking. Yeah.
He said he would say he worshipped Satan.
Yeah, but it just his eyes, just like his eyes and everything was just very demonic looking. And it was just very, very weird.
That was probably a scary time down south.
Yeah, it was. I remember that for a long time, even my mom, we were not allowed to go outside and play. He really kept a whole, cities.
Hostage.
The cities were kept hostage pretty much. We were not allowed to go outside and play. People were kind of afraid to go outside. I remember my friend's, grandma. I think it was my friend's grandma that was one of the victims, and that was scary. That was in the North Hollywood, in the North Hollywood area.
What?
But it was just a scary time, guys. Scary time.
Did you watch it with me or did I watch it by myself? The Night Stalker.
I watched it with you. You remember I was telling you, oh my God, I know that area. I know that area. I knew so many of the areas when we were watching it. The areas were so familiar. Even the area up in the hill, up in the hills and all of that, man, it was just crazy, guys, because I knew so many of the areas where they would show.
Do you remember there was a part where he actually came up to the Bay Area and there was murders too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, it was weird, man, because, and I was trying to ask Gil, but he didn't really answer. But he straight up said, he goes, man, I wasn't after serial killers. I was a homicide,
Yeah.
But my question, maybe somebody else would be able to answer that more, like a psychologist or something, was I felt like back then there was a lot of serial killers. I don't know, maybe it was the lack of now we have DNA, we have cameras everywhere, we have, but back then, I mean, the Hillside Strangler, the Night Stalker, the what's the other one over here in the Bay? The Zodiac Killer.
Zodiac Killer and all that.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer. You have John Wayne Gacy. You had, oh man, a lot of them. What's it called? The Son of Sam in New York.
I don't know. I don't know half of the ones you just said at all.
It was, I mean, a lot, and I'm just like, I wonder if it was that era or what. You know, just crazy. It was. I remember as a kid just constantly serial killer in the news. There's always somebody. They're looking for somebody, or it would show in the news they had one in court, going to the court, you know, and it was just.
It was just sad times.
Yeah,
a lot of people would
scary,
go missing,
man.
but I think even now,
You think it still
there's
happens?
so much. Well, now there's a lot of human trafficking, and there's a lot of children that go missing and everything, and I think death is just taken just so lightly, even nowadays, you know, and people go missing, and it's like it's not a big deal now because in big numbers, and it's just not.
Did you ever?
I think life is just not valued.
Did you ever used to watch American Most Wanted?
I did.
A lot of people did.
I did.
You know,
I did.
A lot of
but
people
I think,
got caught because of that show.
Yeah, but I think now there's just so much more that it's not even. It's just so much to keep up with.
Well,
and I think
it
it's so sad.
desensitized the people now.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, but I remember seeing that show, and it was like just crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
It was a weird time, you know, and I mean, it even sparked movies, you know.
But now, there's so much demonic force behind so much now.
Well, like Satan don't even hide anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't, and now you see, you know, children killing parents and parents killing children, and it's almost like you see it so much more often.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's just sad.
Yeah.
It's sad because you
I
see
agree.
it so much more that it doesn't surprise people anymore. Before it was such an atrocity when you would see something like that, and now it's like it's seen so much more that it, like you said, it has desensitized, you know, and now it's just like another. It's like, oh man, it happened again. There goes another one, and it's. I don't know. I think it has really desensitized people. Yeah. But wow, guys, you know, and besides that, it was just a really, really, I think besides the whole thing, I really, really loved the story on how he became a detective.
Yeah.
It was just amazing to know that a police officer is what encouraged him in becoming a detective. How that is what actually got his whole career started. And to me, I think that was it sent such a huge message.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, even nowadays, people oversee stuff like that. You know, we were on our way to when we were on our way to Southern California, we actually ran into a police chief.
Who I want to interview next.
Yeah. And it's something so simple like that because there's still really good people out there.
Yeah.
It can take somebody, it can take a business person, it can take somebody who can actually take one moment, a pastor, a police chief, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, somebody who is willing to implement a moment of their time to implement that time into a child or to encourage, you know, a child and to tell them, you know what, you're somebody important. You can become anything you want to become, or to just challenge them to want to become something in life. And that police officer actually challenged him.
Well, here's the thing, though. He said there was an officer. He goes that he would always give all the Vadio a hard time. You know, why are you guys hanging around here? You got to do something better with your life, and blah blah blah. He said he would talk to him like that. So one day he was about to flunk and had to do a paper, and he challenged the officer.
Yeah.
He goes, you know what? You always tell me to better myself. Why don't you help me write this paper then? And the officer says, all right.
All right. Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So he put his the challenge back to the officer, but the officer took it.
Exactly.
And because of that, he believes that it completely changed the direction of his life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And after I recorded the interview, I still talked to him for maybe about 10 minutes, just between me and him, and it was crazy what he told me, because I was thanking him he's a busy man. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even realize he's on this podcast with George Lopez, and he's flying all over the place think about it. This is one of the biggest serial killers ever, so it makes sense that a lot of people have him speak. He speaks at seminars, he speaks, anyways, so I was just kind of like thanking him, commending him, just honoring him. And he turned it around and he says, you're just as important as me. He goes, you, my friend, are an example too. He goes, you are a Chicano that rose out of the barrio. And you are serving your community in the same way I served as a detective. Amen. He compared the job of a detective and said, man, you're doing it too in your way. He goes, with the Lord, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And it was crazy to hear that from, think about it. LA, that's big time, to be, and then not only LA, but to be a homicide detective, it was awesome talking to Gil.
Well, somebody of influence and everything. Yeah, it is. I think it is very important. And you hear that from somebody who that has had experience and that is out there having such an influence on a bigger platform, I guess you would say, or something. Yeah, and I think it is encouraging to hear that. Sometimes we need to hear those encouraging words from people that have that type of impact in the world,
And one thing I want to say too is that he didn't want to talk about God, and I'll tell you why. Though it's an amazing reason why. He says, basically, he goes, David, I'm not a perfect man. I drink, I cuss. He goes, but I fear God and I trust in God and believe Him. He goes, and I feel like if I talk about God, I feel like I don't want people to say I'm a hypocrite because of the way I live my life. But he goes, but I believe in Him. And I can respect that. So that's why I interviewed the way I did. But I love the honesty of him just straight up saying, you know what? I live my life like this, but I believe in Him. And it was powerful. I when somebody says something like that to you, very direct, you got to respect it. And my prayer, obviously, as a pastor, is that the Lord continue to pull him in. That the Lord pull him in and the Lord touch his heart, because I prayed a blessing over him just after I hit stop on the recording, and he's just like, man, that prayer, he put a lump in my throat. He goes, I felt something. And I'm just like, boom, there's a seed right there. There's a seed, guys. As you guys know, yesterday we didn't have a devotional because we were passing out the green machine soup.
Yeah.
And, it's again, I got a call this morning, and a couple that we met when we went down south, he called. They're regular viewers of this. They're part of this Relevant Bible Talk family, and we met for the first time. They're the ones that took us to the motorcycle bar.
Yes.
Not a motorcycle bar / grill.
Yes.
Where a bunch of bikers were outside.
Steakhouse.
There's a bunch of bikers outside drinking. We're like, oh man, it's too full. And we went in, all the tables, nobody was eating. Everybody was just outside drinking. So we ate a steak. And but anyways, he called, and his wife tested positive for COVID. So he was asking for prayers, also. So it's like, that's another person, as people are recovering now, other people, are in the middle of it. Other people are getting sick,
positive, and I know Sister Naomi was still feeling symptoms. Mm-hmm. So she as well was going to retest, and we want to continue praying for her as well.
Amen.
Yeah. Also, I did get an update from my cousin Vicky in regards to her husband Alejandro today. Things had taken a turn for the worse today, and it was very humbling when I received. Well, first of all, I seen a live from her saying that today they were intubating him, and what had happened, I guess, during the intubation and everything, his oxygen went down to 30%, and he ended up crashing, and she almost lost him today.
Real quick, just in case, so you know if you don't. When Sharon couldn't breathe, when we had COVID, you were at 83%.
Yeah.
And that was hard for her to breathe.
Yeah.
So her cousin's husband went down to 30. So just think about that.
Went down to 30 and completely crashed, guys. So that means that she had pretty much almost lost her husband completely. Well, she had lost him.
He coded, right?
He coded. It was code blue. And they brought him back. And once they brought him back, he went up to 50 and then 60%.
Which is nothing.
It's not good at all. It was at his worst. So they brought him up to 60%, and she did call me. She was hysterical, guys, and she says, "I need you guys here." And immediately we got up and we ran to the hospital, and we went over there, and we were only able to be outside, guys, and we just gathered the family together. And guys, we began to pray. David just began to pray, and we began to pray. I began to pray in the Spirit.
It wasn't just her, it was the whole family.
Yeah.
His mom. It was a good 10 people.
Yeah, it was.
Right in front of the hospital. And it was just, there was nobody there. Parking lot's empty because nobody can go into the hospitals.
Yeah, but I will tell you that when you see a wife, just break and begin to plead and ask God and plead God to save her husband, and just cry out on her knees and yell out to God and just yell out to Jesus and just say, "Jesus, please, please save my husband." Man, is when you begin to just pray in the Spirit, and you just know that you got to fight. You got to fight with all that you have and intercede with all that you have. And, and I believe that the Lord just heard his daughter and heard her heart.
Yeah, we were just praying there for about 5 minutes, maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes out there in the front of the sidewalk, and
I think there was that point where she just said, "What do I do?" And I said, "You just have to surrender. You have to surrender him to the Lord." And she says, "I don't know how." And I said, just do it. Just surrender him to the Lord. I said, "You just have to let go and give him." And she says, "Lord, I give him to you." And she says, "I just give him to you." And I believe within 5 minutes, of her surrendering and saying, "Lord, I give my husband to you. I give my husband to you," she received a call from her daughter.
Who was up there?
Yeah, her daughter's the only one that was up there. She received a call from her daughter immediately saying, "Mom, his oxygen just went up to 84%.
Mm-hmm.
And then received another call 5 minutes again after that. "Mom, his oxygen's going up to 90%, and his heart's better, and he's getting there. He's looking stronger," and just giving her good reports.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that is what happens when you just surrender and place someone you love into the Lord's hands. And I believe that the Lord is going to continue. The Lord is going to continue to do what he needs to do. I believe that.
Amen.
So, guys, I'm going to ask that you guys just continue to pray for Alejandro. And I know that if my cousin is watching this, I am so proud of you. I am so, so proud of how strong you are. And we love you. We absolutely love you. And we are here for you. And we are so, so, so proud of how strong you are. And just know that faith of a mustard seed moves mountains, and you just keep doing what you're doing, and we will be interceding from here, and just doing what we need to do as your brothers and sisters in Christ.
As you guys know, I'll reiterate, we probably had about 30 people have COVID over the last year and a half, and just in the last 3 weeks, we've almost reached that point in the last 3 weeks, so, we are a little tired because, like I said yesterday, you guys know we got home almost 2 a.m. And then you had an appointment early today.
Yeah, I had my doctor appointment.
Yeah, you had a doctor appointment today. And then today, we were going to do some things, and then that's when we got the call, and we live in Stockton, so we headed all the way to Modesto again. And
I went to Modesto twice today.
Yeah, and we just got back, So I say all that to say this: have some grace on us, We had to go. We have to go. We had to go and be there and pray and intercede, and for the Spirit of God to move. And it ain't that the Spirit of God can't move without us, but that's what He calls us for. He calls us to be prayer warriors. He calls us to stand in the gap. He calls us to intercede for the Spirit of God to move, and change the atmosphere, and I believe that happened, and so yeah, okay, we came home all the way back a little tired. I don't have a full devotion, but I think a lot of this stuff that we're talking about is a devotion unto itself, because I prayed at the very least this, right? Is that I remember there's a movie that Mel Gibson did. It was called We Were Soldiers in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. And he tells his men, because he trains them, he says, when we get there on the battlefield, he goes, I will be the first one to step down. And when we come home, I'll be the last one. In other words, he led by example. And maybe if for anything, taking the soup, going and making a hospital visit, even if we can't even get in, I pray it just prompts you to do the same. Do the same for those around you. Do the same. You are the Christian. You are the believer. You are the one that has the Spirit of God. So when you hear of a family in need, friend in need, to be the one to say, you know what, let me take you some soup. You know what, let me take you some medicine. You know what, let me go pray for you. You know what, let me go. We have to be the ones that lead the charge, because we are the light. Those that are in Christ are the ones that have the light. The Bible says that He is the light, therefore we are the light.
I think about, today we were watching a movie. It's called Father, Soldier, and Son. And it made me think about our soldiers that are out there, in battle. And I know that today that there were some soldiers. 13 soldiers who lost their lives.
But they're not even in battle. They're just trying to get people out.
Yeah. And, well, that is battle, because they put their lives out there. And every time that they step out there, every time that they put themselves out there, I believe that they put themselves out. They're putting themselves out for battle, because they're putting themselves out to face any type of harm. And, I feel like they go out and they do that for our freedom. They do that for us. So I think that we as soldiers for the kingdom, we as soldiers for Christ, we too need to do our part. You know, and today when we were watching that movie, we were watching Father Soldier Son.
We didn't even finish it because
We didn't because we left. You know, it really moved me, guys, because it's almost like a documentary type story, and it's so powerful because it just moved me, because it's a single father with 2 little boys, and it's like a story that's told within a 10-year timeline of this soldier who, you know, who gets wounded, and he's a single father, and his children are going through it too. And, you know, and it's just like, man, it's like everybody plays a part within his life, and even the child gets PTSD.
Yeah, they didn't say it, but we were talking about it.
You can see it. That you can even see it, that even the effects of the child and the family and what they go through, but everybody gets affected in it, and everybody plays a role, and we ourselves have to play a role in this world as well. So we got to do our part too. We might not be we might not be where they're at, but it doesn't mean that we can't do what we need to do here where we're at, and play a role and do something and be a soldier.
Yeah.
So we got to do our part, guys. Even if it's a minute little role, but we can do something to enlighten the things in this world. We have to do our part, guys.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It was a documentary. Like, it's 10 years in the making. I wonder if they planned on doing that, or that was, I don't know.
It's
we got to finish it, actually.
Yeah, guys, you guys should watch that.
Yeah, it's really on. Good. I think that's on Netflix too.
Yeah.
I just happened to come across it or something. Yeah. I'd never even seen the little picture on it or anything like that. Are you tired?
I am tired. I was in the middle of making banana bread too, and I left like 10 bananas already peeled and just covered up, and I didn't even get a chance to make it either, but it's there, guys. I'm going to get to it.
So, you know, like I said, I don't have a verse, but hopefully you get something out of this. I do want to say this too, is that Sunday, I got the sermon title. I'm going to share it with you, but you're going to be like, what is that going to be about? It's called The Second Flood.
What?
The Second Flood. So think about that, guys. Ponder on that. And, you know, try to figure out what that is and see if you got it right on Sunday morning.
You don't even know what it's about there, do you?
I know what it's going to preach about.
Oh. Sometimes you don't really, the Lord doesn't give it to you till later.
No,
so.
I know the sermon. I just have to put it together. It's like pieces of puzzle that are floating around in my head. I just got to put the pieces together, but I know what it's going to show.
Sometimes I wish I can get in his head and just see what's in there. It's kind of weird, huh?
You'd be scared.
I think I would be scared, you guys. It'd be really scary to get in his head because, I don't know. He's a weirdo sometimes.
Here's what's weird, though, right? Is that if somebody confronts me or somebody asks me something, I take long to answer. Sometimes I won't even answer you the same day.
That's very true. You know what? He used to drive me nuts for that.
But if you went in my head, it's the opposite. Everything's moving really, really rapidly and really fast. Like, have you ever seen those, when you draw something on a bunch of pages and you flip it?
Yeah.
That's how my brain is all the time. And I try to, I don't think anybody will make sense out of that because I do take my time to answer. It's really hard to get in conversations. When Sharon and another sister or somebody, and it's 4 people talking, I talk the least because I can't even get in. Because by the time I'm ready to speak, they start speaking. And if I get a chance and I'll pause to breathe before my next sentence, boom, they're already took off because
He's delayed.
I'm too slow to speak. So sometimes I don't even get in conversations. 20 minutes later, they're like, "Oh, Pastor, did you have something to say?" I'm like, "Yeah, this was a pastoral meeting. Can I talk?" But my mind, though, seriously, it's like really fast. I just like to think about what I'm saying first.
Well, sometimes he's delayed. We'll talk about something, and he'll answer like maybe tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, that's a delayed. He'll be like, yeah, what you were talking about.
I do that.
What you were talking about yesterday. I'm like,
yeah, we'll get in the car.
What?
We'll get in the car, we'll take off, jump on the freeway, and I'll be like, remember that thing you brought up yesterday? And then
I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah.
So I thought about what you said.
I'm like, that was yesterday's conversation. Why are you bringing it up now? I don't even care about that anymore.
Oh, you gonna care? No.
Like, seriously. I'm like, that's already done with or whatever. And, I probably already bought the thing and he's thinking he's going to answer me now. It's just weird, guys. What's wrong with you? Why are you doing the Bart Simpson look?
What's the Bart Simpson look?
That.
Bart don't do that.
Yes, it does. From the side, you look like Bart Simpson.
Thanks. So I look like a big orange eraser, yellow eraser head.
No, pink.
He's not pink, he's yellow.
You look pink right now, though.
Wow. Anyways, guys, we're going to let you go, but seriously, Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, the second flood. And, invite somebody, tell somebody, shout it, do something. But we appreciate you guys, man. If you didn't get a chance to watch the Gil Carrillo interview, please go to it. It's the video right before this one, actually. And let me know what you think. There ain't that many comments. Why? Did you guys not like it?
Did you not watch it?
That's messed up, man.
That's messed up, eh? That's what he normally says.
I know.
That's messed up, eh? Oh, by the way, guys, we are... and which we are going to do, because we are going to put it together. We are going to be doing a food giveaway.
Oh.
Yeah. So we are going to be doing, putting together a food giveaway, guys.
Is he still doing it, though? We got to find that out first.
Actually, yes, I seen him.
Where?
Trust me, I did. So
you're always with me. When did you see him?
Babe, I seen him in front. Just trust me. Can you just...
She's always with me. All the time.
Anyways, guys, I'm trying to get it all together and everything. I know we did one last year, but I'm gonna hopefully within the next month or two, and I'm thinking within the next 2 months. But letting you guys know ahead of time, because I'm gonna probably solicit some volunteers. So I'm gonna be bugging some of you guys that are local. So just letting you know ahead of time. So I'm gonna be giving some shout outs on here.
I wonder when Adam's gonna visit.
I know, maybe Adam should volunteer around that time to come out here.
When is he gonna visit?
And bring his little daughter and bring his guitar so he can la 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 para la la bamba and do all that stuff.
He don't know how to play La Bamba.
But you know what? He's been throwing out some really dope beats.
I know, but he don't know how to play La Bamba. Oh, the turntables.
Yeah, he's been doing some pretty cool stuff. I've been hearing your stuff, like the New Man. That one was really good.
That was nice.
Yeah, I really liked it. I was actually in my little cabeza, in my little head. I was actually doing some lyrics in my head, thinking about some stuff to sing to it. Yeah, I do that with your music. Sounds pretty cool. And then I think about stuff that David can rap to. Have you thought about rapping to some of them?
Not really. I hear his music and I keep seeing scenes of the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought maybe you can rap on some of them.
I don't know how to rap.
Really? You weren't a rapper before?
I could try.
Seriously, babe?
What?
You just want me to say you were such a good rapper, really? You just want me to you're such a...
Oh my God. You're making me laugh.
Look at, why are you blushing?
Because I just read like this. That's not blushing.
Your nose got all red.
That's rug burn.
Your nose got all red.
That's palm burn.
You got rug burn? Your nose
went like this.
Your nose got all red too. Okay. And then your ears are red now.
Because I'm hot.
No, because you blushed.
I don't blush.
Babe, you blushed.
I don't blush.
Do you know what blushing is?
Yeah.
You blushed.
I don't blush.
You're blushing
I don't
again.
do nothing.
You're blushing again.
Oh, okay.
You guys, he's not accepting that he's blushing.
I'm not.
Okay. Anyways, we love you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.